Hello. Um, as you can probably tell, it's kind of getting in the evening time. Just kind of wanted to pop on here and put out a video real quick about what I've been doing, what I've been up to. Why I haven't put a video out this week yet. Usually I would have had it out already, but here it is. Today is Wednesday. I'm probably going to be posting this in real time. But anyway, I have been working incredibly hard to get Green Mage in this series right here. It's the fourth book, Green Mage, out. And I've also been working on outlining the fifth book, Grey Mage, because I've got something planned and I'm probably going to video it. My progress in it is I'm challenging myself basically to write Grey Mage and have it ready to go by June 30th, which is the next book in the series. Green Mage I'm almost done with. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to finish Green Mage Metamorphosis. The Metamorphosis is that the character is a female. She's going from being, completely has nothing to, doesn't know how to do anything a Green Mage would know how to do up until, she's full, like, butt kicking Green Mage, and so she goes through a huge change arc, and I've been wanting to make sure I get it right. So I've been using a different technique, and so I'm going to explain my technique a little bit. That's what this video is about. Before anybody like flips off with like you're boring and moves off. This is a kind of an author tube advice kind of thing that I'm working on. I'm doing something a little bit new. I found this from Robert Jordan or some other author, the way they worked. I read it somewhere. Maybe it's George R. R. Martin. I can't remember. Anyway, it's the way they work. I read how they actually draft their first drafts of their novels. And I think it was Robert Jordan. Anyway, what he'd do is he'd get up, a lot of authors, we don't write until around noonish. But because if they're like me, I stay up late at night. That's why I don't get up until later in the day. Because if I write at night, like after midnight, everybody's in bed except for me, and I'm up, and so I don't get text messages, I don't get emails and things like that, because I'm the kind of person that if I hear the phone ring, I've got to answer it, or if I hear the email thing ding, I've got to look at it. I can't just leave things alone. Every once in a while, I'll turn everything off. Like this last weekend, I turned everything off so I could just write and not hear the ding or the beep or anything. But anyway, so what they do is they get up around noon, they start writing the chapter they're working on. I'm an incredibly fast writer, but I'm an incredibly slow editor and slow reader. So I write it really fast, but then I spend a lot of time going over it. So what I've started doing is the technique. I've started writing the chapter, writing a section in the chapter, and then the next day I come back, and before I start the new section of that chapter, I go over the section that I've already written and look at, and edit it as much as I can. And then I put my creative hat back on and start creating again. When you're probably like, well, a lot of us do that. That's, pretty standard. Yes, I understand that. But if you're like on chapter 14 and you're writing into chapter 15, the next day I come back, I look at all the chapters again, not just the chapter I did before. I've gone back to like chapter 1 and I look at it, make sure that everything matches. And a lot of times I caught a couple of things where I was like, oh, I said this early on, and then when I was writing last night, I actually changed it to this. And so I did catch a couple of things by doing this technique. But and it gets to the point where you've seen chapter 1 and chapter 2 so many times that you can kind of skip through it and skim through it. But what it does is it keeps it all fresh in your mind. So when you're writing this long scale novel length, what it actually does is it seems kind of monotonous that you'd have to go back and each day and look at chapter 1 and 2 and 3 all over again. Even though you're in chapter 14, 15, 16, whatever. But like I said, once you get further into writing the novel, when you go back and you look at chapter 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, you've seen them 4 or 5 times already. So you pretty much know what's on them, and it doesn't give you time to forget what you wrote. It doesn't give you time to think, oh, well, I need to go back and look at that. What did I say back in chapter 2 or whatever? I know I said something about that. You don't have to do that because you've seen it every day. So even if you just skim through the first chapters and you already know what's there. And so if you do make a mistake, like on chapter 19, when you go back the next day and you start with chapter 1 again, when you're doing your skimming, you'll more than likely catch it. And it's actually worked a couple of times for me, where I've caught a couple of things. I'm like, oh, I did say this. Now it does seem a little hard, a little bit what am I saying, over the top, or I want to say monotonous or tedious, and that's not really what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it seems like excessive. That's what I'm trying to say. It seems like an excessive amount of editing or whatever. However, I'm the kind of person that I'll write something because I write so fast, and the next day I've completely forgotten what I wrote. So by me going back and looking at it every time, I'm actually keeping track of things a whole lot better. If you're like me, where you have that ability to write something and then go back and later and reread it like you're reading somebody else's work, then doing this technique that I'm starting to develop with this book might actually work for you. There's a couple of books, my early books now, that I have to go back and look at because I have no idea what's in them. I mean, I kind of do, and when I reread it, I kind of know what's going on again. I'm like, oh yeah, I wrote that. But a lot of times I'm so in the zone and I'm writing so quickly that I forget what I wrote. Of course, as if you looked at my video before where I was talking about how I organize my novels, you guys know that I kind of semi outline, and then I'd kind of discovery write from point to point. And so I found the other thing that I've found, and I've reiterated with this novel here, is that if I start working on, you're start talking about something and completely lose your thought. That's what I just did. Just completely lost my thought. But anyway, with this novel, we're gonna have to edit this part out. This novel, oh, completely blinked. Anyway, I'll edit that part out. When I think of it, I'll pop it back in here. But it's driving me crazy. What was I thinking? See, I forget even what I'm talking about, much less what I'm writing about, right? So anyway, been working on Green Mage, getting it finished, and working on outline. Oh, I remember what it was now. Finally. Okay, it's like we're having a conversation. So yeah, I remember what it was. Okay, so what I do is I found that if I don't give myself as many meticulous notes in the outline, like I usually write a chapter, and then I'm sorry, I usually write a paragraph about the chapter, and then I write the chapter based on that paragraph that I wrote. So I paraphrase kind of what I'm going to write about, and then I write the chapter from that information. I found that if I don't put much detail in those paragraphs about what the chapter's about, I write them extremely slowly, and it takes me a long time because I'm having to invent a lot of the chapter. But if I give myself meticulous notes in those paragraphs, and I really know what the chapter's gonna be about, then I zip through it like super fast. So like I said, I can write 2,000-3,000 words a day, easy. If I'm pushing myself, I can write about 5,000 to 6,000 words a day. Now, that may not sound like a lot to some people, but some people I know people who write almost like half a novel in a day or a couple of days. But I think 2,000 words a day is considered fast, and I can do that easily. I can easily write 2,000 words a day. But the trick is remembering what I wrote, going back, because I've outlined it and I already know what I'm writing, and then I just kind of write it. So this technique that I'm using, going back and looking at from chapter 1 through the entire book to where I'm at in the book, has really helped me a lot. And so if you're the kind of author, or you're doing the kind of writing where you're having trouble with that, remembering what you wrote, or if you go back and you're editing and you're like, I said 3 different things here that contradict each other, and if you want to avoid that by the time it goes to the editor, then this technique will probably work for you. Okay, so to say the other thing I was going to say, that what I'm going to document probably on camera, is once I get finished with Green Mage, I'm going to take a couple of days to finish organizing, because I've already organized about 95% of it. Finish organizing Grey Mage, which is book 5, and then I'm going to take one day off a week. The rest of the time I'm going to write 1 chapter a day at least, and see if I can go ahead and get Grey Mage done and finished, formatted, edited. Already have the book cover and everything done, edited, formatted, all the stuff that needs to be done and out by June 30th. So this is my little experiment that I'm going to try with this, because I've never really done this before. I always take my time, and it's taken me, I think, Black Mage, which is book 3, and Green Mage. I meant to have Green Mage out a lot earlier, but I think it's been like 2 years since I've written this series. Of course, I've written other stuff in between, but I wanted to see if I can. I'm going to finish this novel. I'm going to write another novel and be done by June 30th. And to top it off, White Mage, the last of the Mage books. Well, it's the one before the tournament happens. I have it planned, and I've got it kind of outlined. I still got to work on it. I'll work on it at the end of Grey Mage, a little bit more detail. I'll kind of do like that one, what I did with this one. I have it scheduled to be released on August 4th. So I'm basically going to go from book to book to book. And I've got another book that's almost done that I'm going to come out with. It's a Beckett Blaze book. And then I've got another book that's pretty much done with Beckett Blaze. It's my other pen name. It's my raunchier, kind of more adult, curse word laden pen name. I don't do that with my Cleave Bourbon name because it's more of a family name. You can read Red Mage, or you might have a little bit of hell or damn in there or something, but nothing like an F-bomb or anything like that in it. And then Beckett Blaze is anyway, a lot more of that. So I'm going to try to do this and see if we can do it. I'll document on here. This will be some of my videos I'm going to do. The other thing I wanted to say is the next parts of speech video, I'll probably come out with it here in a couple of days from now. I'll still do that in between. Probably right after I get this book finished, I'll probably do that video. And then as far as other videos, I think one of you guys have mentioned that you wanted to know about author income. I wanted a video about the author income because I think someone asked about it, and I know who asked about it. And I answered her, and she was like, wow, that's like, maybe we should do a video. I'm like, okay. So I'll probably do like an author income video. I know there's a lot of author people out there in the author tube that tell what they make. They talk about that in detail, but I don't think they go into some of the things that I would probably need to talk about that I would go into. So I will do that. The other thing I wanted to say real quick, and then I'm going to let you guys go, is that if you want a topic of some kind, just let me know in the comments, because I don't give advice on writing to give advice on writing. I don't do that. I give advice on writing based on what I do, because I think there's too many people out there that are just wanting clicky things, and trying to grow real fast and massage the algorithm or whatever. And I'm not like that. I'm not doing it for that reason. So if you want some sort of writing advice, you want to know something, then if you ask me, I will do a video, or I will tell you, or I'll answer you on that topic. But I'm not going to come in here and say, 10 things that you should avoid in your writing, or 10 cliches that you should avoid, or something like that. I'm not going to do that, because that's not what the kind of channel I'm trying to make here. I'm here, like, we're having a conversation. I want to give you information that's going to actually help you and you're going to be able to use. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not disparaging anybody. I'm not saying that the other author tubers, whatever, they give a bunch of information that they don't use themselves, or even though that's probably the case in some of the cases. I'm just saying that me personally, I'm not going to do a lot of clickbaity kind of information out there just to get views or clicks or whatever. I'm just gonna do stuff that you want to know, and it's gonna be related to stuff that I do or don't do, rather than just getting your clickbaity, just getting your views or whatever. Because if I don't grow that much, that's fine with me. Which brings me to another point. I have a friend who is a artist. And what he does is he goes on Facebook live, and you see him actually working. So if any of you would like me to go live, like on Facebook or something, if I have Cleave Bourbon Facebook, I can put it down in the description. if you want to see me live and working on stuff, the way I organize and move things back and forth, and do my what I call the story Bible, the storyboard, because I storyboard things. Where movie guys, they storyboard by drawing things and putting in order. I do it by, paragraphs and stuff. I storyboard it differently. I do different scenes and stuff. So if you want to see how I work that way, and you actually want to see me writing and seeing it going down on the page, if that's interesting to you, I could do something like that. I've looked into it on how to do it on Facebook, and it's really easy. I could do a share screen, and you can see everything I'm doing, and putting down, see how I actually write. I haven't done it yet because I didn't think anybody would really be interested in that. To come up with a certain time per week and say, okay, like maybe on, I don't know, Thursday or Friday at 2 p.m. Central, I'll be writing for an hour or something. I'll do something like that. If you guys want to see it, if you guys are like, wow, that'd be really boring, then I won't do it. But I thought it might be interesting. It's up to you guys. If you want to see how I go through and see how I actually do things and work, then that would be cool. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later. You know what? That part that I said I was going to edit out, where I was having the brain, whatever, I'm just going to leave that in. Yeah, we're just two people talking, right? Don't have to worry about that. I'm just leaving it in. I'm going to just put the video up. All right. I'll see you in the next one, which is going to be probably, what was it? It's conjunctions, I think. I'll see in a couple of days. I'll put that out. But anyway, see you guys later.